I've met some amazing people who are like, oh, hey, don't hold it against me, I'm from California. And I'm like, I don't. Like, I totally get it.
Right,
like,
right.
If I were you, I'd do the same thing.
Well, I think that's the thing that's lost from people that have been here or natives are people that are looking to move here. We affectionately call them political refugees.
Mm-hmm.
They're moving here for a reason. They're tired of that, crappy commute or, the crime or, the list goes on and on and on as to why they're, leaving the area that they're in. I think it's just, they're just trying to share that, hey, there can be a tendency to bring that with you. Even though you don't want it, you have to be kind of adamant not to bring it.
Right. Yeah, because it's in their muscle memory.
So, DR.
Yeah, man.
I'm liking this podcast series with you. This is it's pretty cool.
This is cool.
It's nice to just sit down, kind of chat.
Totally.
About what's kind of going on and where we're at and where clients are at.
Well, and I tell you, when it comes to a real estate decision, it can be a big deal, and you've got reasons for job, career changes. You got reasons for maybe investments. Maybe the family's grown, changing dynamics. Maybe you're shrinking it down to empty nesters. Who knows what? But whatever those reasons are, that's what makes that journey interesting. But also, it makes it really fun for us because we're not only trying to get you the right information to help you make that decision, but we're hearing the journey you're going through, and we're there.
Amazing. It's an honor to help them, through that and understand, kind of what's going on and be a part of that.
Oh,
pretty rewarding. We call it emotional currency.
Yeah. And I mean, you're literally getting to hear their dreams and their vision, right? Whether they're going to be building or like when you walk into a place and they're looking at it and you're pointing out some things and they're visualizing, them being there with their friends, their family, and it's a neat process.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talked last time just to give everybody a little bit of backstory of, who we are and what we're about, and got into a little bit of detail about you being one of the few natives that people will run across here. And
right.
Myself being a transplant and being able to pull from, different areas, inside and outside of the country, where I've lived. I thought, it'd be good for us to talk about because this is inevitably one of the first things that come up because the majority of our clients are people relocating into the area.
Right.
And the wincing or the kind of little bit of embarrassment we get when we're like, where are you from? Or, we got to have that conversation. Yeah, they just get super nervous. And I thought it'd be good to just put it all out there, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and talk about, people that, first of all, most of the people that live here are transplants. Like I said, you just don't run across a lot of natives now. And, some have been here for a year, some have been here 10 years. I've been here since 94, so 20, 5+ years, whatever it is.
Right.
And everybody's kind of at a different spot. And when you first, come to the area or think about coming to the area, inevitably you find yourself thinking a lot like the people you were concerned about, how they thought about you. You get that feeling of, this is a great place. Let's keep it that way.
Right. So. Well, yeah. I mean, once it becomes your backyard per se, there's reasons why you stay here, whether you've been homegrown or you moved here. And we don't necessarily, and I say we, like particularly like say like, myself, when you've grown up here and there's change and some of the changes are good and sometimes you're kind of like, yeah, I don't know if I like that change. But it's the things that we value and it's a little slower pace of life.
Yeah.
We like that. I mean, for years, I was going down to Southern California every year for big trade shows, promoting a business I was running. And, I mean, you talk about stepping into another world with pace of life.
Another planet. Yeah.
I mean, people are just flying down the freeway like you're standing still and you're doing 5-10 over speed limit.
Right.
Some of those things, like I drive like an old man, though. One of the things I'm guilty of, and my friends are always like, Yeah, well, DR, you're going to get there safe.
You're not going to get there quick, but you get there safe.
It won't be quick, but it'll be safe.
That's funny. Yeah, you go to California, that's not the MO down
Yeah,
there.
you got to change. You got to change gears. You got to get in race car mode.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a perfect place for us to kind of start. One is the commute's changed. Right? I mean, just myself.
Totally.
When I got here in '94, you pretty much get everywhere in 15 minutes. Anytime somebody'd say, "Hey, I got to go somewhere," it was a 15-minute commute. Now it's pretty easily 30-minute. 35 minutes.
Yeah, you plan on going somewhere, just block 30.
Yep.
And if you get there before that, you're like, that was awesome.
Yeah, then you're
pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, man, it took so long to get here. Now just like, hey, just block 30.
Yeah. It's always easy to criticize whether things are happening fast enough. Why aren't we keeping up with the influx of people, and traffic is just one of those. You can't really help it. I did a video and about the traffic here in the Boise area, and I very kind of quickly pivoted to why it is that the traffic has, the commute times have grown.
Right.
To, hey, these are the things that have caused this to happen. Like the Village at Meridian, it's a great place to go, but it's made the traffic on Eagle Road, in some people's mind, kind of a nightmare when they, it was a 2-lane road at one point in time.
Right. And
paved.
It is what it is.
Right.
Right. I mean, that's just a perspective on so much of this stuff I think people need to take on.
Right.
Like, there's a reason why people want to move here. It's an awesome place.
Yeah.
Idaho is awesome.
Absolutely.
It has almost everything you can think of, minus the ocean. Oh, by the way, the ocean's only 8 hours away.
Right. It's not, Yeah, you don't have to you could drive.
So yeah, it is what it is. The traffic, yep, it's changed.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Just don't be rude, right? Don't just drive and just do what you're supposed to do.
I think you nailed it. A lot of people get frustrated because there is that kind of tendency to bring kind of that high speed anxiety. Maybe even some road rage.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have that when I got here. I'm sure it wasn't existent when you got here.
I didn't even know what it was, right?
Yeah, like why would you road rage? Like I don't see anybody for 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah. I mean, I'm being facetious here. But but that's,
hey, look, there's a car coming.
Yeah, but that's one of the first indicators of somebody relocating in the area where they're, cutting you off or not letting you in or flipping you off or, it's like, that's not.
And honestly, here's a reality to that. Those who have either been here a long time, right, or were born here, are noticing how different it is, and they think, man, it's really bad.
Yeah.
If you've moved in from a lot of places where people, they're like, this is great still.
Yeah.
This is like so much better than where I come from.
Way to work.
Yeah.
Or, to school or whatever. One way. Yeah. In California, I hear hour and a half, 2 hours one way.
Oh, yeah.
This is nothing like that.
I know guys out of Seattle, hour and a half drive one way to get to work. And it's not covering ground.
Right.
It's this
5 miles down the road. No,
go,
just
stop.
Parking lot.
Yeah. And I tell you what, here's a little message I will give to the drivers out there. Go back and drive the way you want to drive where you came from. But when you come here, please just slow down a little bit. I guarantee you're not going to get there maybe 30 seconds faster than me.
Right.
You're not. And all you're going to do is cause somebody some heartache with either a wreck or a pert near wreck.
Yeah. And I will be. I will absolutely be honest that it is a thing to look at license plates.
Right.
If you're wondering, it's a thing.
Right.
If you don't want to be questioned about how you're driving or whatever, then come into the area. You're supposed to register your vehicle, change your plates right away anyway. So just,
and adopt the fact that we like things just a little more mellow.
Right.
You're going to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slow your roll a little bit.
No, but it is what it is. And I think you got to roll with it. And like you say, if you think it's bad, just talk to someone from Portland, Seattle, Cali, and we talk to these places where people have come from, and they're like, it's wonderful here. Oh, yeah. The traffic's not bad.
When I first moved here, because I moved here, I was in Portland before, but I've told the stories of, living in Phoenix and the Seattle area, and I've always tried real hard not to complain about the commute.
Right.
And when I catch myself, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. It's twice as long as it used to take me when I first got here.
Yep.
But, also when I visit those areas again, I'm reminding myself, what am I complaining about?
Yep.
So,
yep.
Just have that mindset. And then, think of the advantages of the things that we now have, the diversity in places to eat and shopping and, just, things to do.
Oh yeah. Hey, in minutes, call it 45 to an hour, you can be up on a reservoir. Mm-hmm. You can be up by a mountain stream. Mm-hmm. You can be up in timber in minutes.
Yeah.
You can be out on the desert in half hour, 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. You can be on the, just so many different,
under an hour.
Yeah.
And you're living a totally different lifestyle.
Totally different.
Like you said, you had Bruno sand dunes. You're in the desert and, sandy area. You drive up north 45 minutes and you're, in the woods and you're skiing. You can ski at Bogus from pretty much anywhere in town here in 45 minutes.
And in 45 minutes, you can be right downtown or one of these nice little community, sitting there, taking a little local culture, eating some great food, taking a great event, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely. So that's my take on the commute. And I imagine, for you, it's even more so just because it's more drastic of change than even what I went through. But that's all I'd advise for people that if they're curious, just appreciate, the positives.
Hey, I tell you what, one of the things I really learned a while back was some things we were going through with our family is, keep small stuff, the small stuff, right? Keep small things, the small things. And guess what? Most things are the small things.
The small things.
Yeah,
absolutely. Recreation. I mean, you've probably seen the most change in the recreation standpoint, right? Hey, my favorite camping spot's gone or different or, all those different.
Yeah. Now that is one thing that you definitely got to kind of plan ahead because if you like reserving camping spots, you better get on it and get on the list quick. Yeah. And, like say me and my family or friends, we'll go just find places that are up by a stream or maybe we'll go do some dry camping and just haul in what we need. And there's a lot of options, opportunities. I mean, the RV, ATV, recreational motorsports world is huge now. Huge. I mean, it blew up in this state, 3 years ago?
Yeah. Everybody's got a big old RV bay and they got all their toys in it.
And there's so many places to go.
Yeah. Snowmobiles and dirt bikes and side-by-sides and boats. I mean, this is definitely the place to recreate and just be aware, reserve your spot, make your plans way in advance, be respectful when you go do those things that to clean up after yourself, pick up.
Everybody's just like you. They're all wanting to go experience it. They're all wanting to have a good time. Yeah. They want everybody, like you said, to respect each other, realize, there's only so much that goes around. So just realize, hey, you gotta let everybody get along and appreciate it because you can ruin a bad weekend if y'all want to get uptight.
Right. Right. Yeah. And there's more coming too. It's like when I first moved here, there was Bogus Basin. You could go there. There was Sun Valley. You could go there. Right. But now, we have, or you could head up to Brunge, but now we've got Tamarack Resort and we have yet another, ski hill, that people can go to. So, people are bringing those options, along with them. So there's plenty of things to do, but, it's more people in the area.
Well, and there's that two sides of that. And I said you can make a bad weekend, make a good weekend bad is what I was getting at. But there's two sides to when more people come. One, it's a little more crowded. You got to plan ahead. Block 30. We should that's our new phrase. Just block 30 for drive time. We should call it block 30.
There you go.
But along with the planning ahead, you got to think about what you're going to be dealing with and so forth, and some of the inconveniences of more people. The pros of that are cooler things are coming into our area to experience as well. Whether it's like the new golf.
Top Golf just came in.
Right? I wouldn't have showed up.
Roaring Springs has been here for a while, but it certainly wasn't back in the day.
The Eagle Bike Park. There's a reason why they decided to do that.
Right.
There was all of a sudden a demand.
Right.
So let's build it.
Yep.
Right.
Acres and acres and acres.
So there's some cool things that you get out of more people coming.
Yeah. If you're going to complain about people moving into the area, those things wouldn't have developed out of that. So
correct.
Yeah. So recreation, it's changed, but it's still phenomenal. Amazing.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, pretty much anything you'd want to do from hiking to biking to fishing to all kinds of fishing and again, I think we mentioned it in the last podcast, but really the ocean type stuff is the only thing you can't do here. But as you said,
right.
7 or 8 hour drive and
boom,
and you're there.
You're there.
But, and it's really kind of world class stuff here.
I mean, seriously,
yep.
like fishing, awesome.
Yeah.
Hunting,
awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many good things. Yeah, I mean, everything has a trade, but there's just so many good things, and now you just got to kind of think ahead a little bit of what do you want to do, and make your plans.
Yep. So the other thing is food. We, as you mentioned, as people are moving into the area, we're getting a lot more options of food. It's kind of funny because it's always a little bit lagging behind the population growth, and a new restaurant comes in, and for months afterwards, it's just packed.
Right.
Because everybody wants to go, try out the new restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
But we've got a lot of diversity for being a relatively, small
Some great ethnic foods.
Yeah.
I mean, we got some phenomenal Indian food.
That's good sushi.
I mean, I was just going to say, like some people are like, well, you're too far from the ocean for me to have sushi. I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah,
there's some legit sushi here.
Yeah, we just went the other night.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I mean, I've lived in places where you're just right there on the ocean, and I'm going to tell you, we got good sushi.
Yeah. Got good Indian food. I mean, all this influx of people just begets that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So now we're not eating the same thing all the time. Burgers or potatoes, right? Everybody thinks that's all we eat here is potatoes. Right.
Yeah, well, I guarantee we got some good beef, too.
We got some good beef. Yeah, absolutely.
It's what's for dinner.
Yeah. So, food. Let's see. So, we've got, commute, traffic. We got recreation. We got food. I would say, kind of the lifestyle in general has remained a lot the same. People still really love going to our farmers markets. People still really love being outdoors here. It's a pretty active, community. So that is the overarching, at least, from my perspective. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's just been since I've lived here. But, really that that kind of active lifestyle has really been consistent.
Yeah.
Since I've been here.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you go into a lot of these communities, the schools are filled with, a bunch of kids playing ball, a lot of sports and soccer's become a big deal now all over, it used to be something that was more in some of the other countries. Now it's huge in the U.S. and high schools and, but there's every night there's something going on somewhere. A lot of places to recreate and city league stuff, intramural stuff. If you're looking for activities, it's everywhere.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, and again, as with growth, there are the things that can make that tough. But again, just roll with it. Keep small stuff.
Yeah. I think approaching our great Idaho with that mindset, just quality of life, slower pace, caring about people, helping people. Those are the things that I think the majority of the people that are either natives here or have been here for a while are afraid of losing. They don't want to be hectic, fast-paced, chaotic, annoying. People that come here are surprised when they get waved at or smiled at walking down the street. They think there's something wrong with these people. It's like, wait a minute. No, that's the way it's supposed to be. Let's not lose that. So if you want to be, kind of criticized or, maybe even, attacked, not physically, but, for having a crappy attitude or a negative mindset, it's because people don't want to have that become the culture here.
No. And that's exactly it. I mean, just appreciating one another, acknowledging one another. Like you said it. I mean, I've heard this back when I was running the guest ranch, and I'd have people drive up and they'd be like, yeah, we had to stop and get some stuff. And we went through a drive-through real quick before we came up. And they were like, people are so nice here at the drive-through.
Yeah.
And, and they were like, at the checkout, the lady was actually talking to us, and they're not used to that.
Right.
They're coming from big cities where everybody just kind of stares straight ahead and just says, it's what Joe, give me,
Well, and it's a genuine, authentic nice. You've got the businesses that teach you, hey, ask a bunch of questions, talk them up or whatever, just to create that, interaction, that communication. But, you can sense when somebody's making it up.
Yeah.
And you know when it's authentic, when it's real, and people really care.
Well,
generally.
The fact is, we've definitely got a lot of things going on, and Boise's starting to feel bigger and a little bigger, more city-like type vibe. But I mean, Idaho is country, I would say. The heartbeat of it. It's country. The heartbeat of it is a little more of that rural, ag, ranch, small business. Yeah, we got some big dogs coming in with the commercial, stuff, businesses and so forth. But that's kind of, been the heart of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just are like, hey, we like some of the action and some of the cool things that are coming, but we don't really want to lose that country down home feel. We're like, hey, our door's open. Come on in, sit down and have dinner with us,
Yeah. Yeah. I think you just hit the nail on the head. That's the fear, that this kind of general mindset and the approach to life is going to shift. And that, in my mind is the fear.
Right.
And if you're feeling that, what was the saying? I probably shouldn't say it, but don't Californicate Idaho.
Sure.
There are people that are deathly afraid of that.
Sure.
And
Well, and here's the thing, like, people, I've met some amazing people who are like, oh, hey, don't hold it against me, I'm from California. And I'm like, I don't. Like, I totally get it.
Right,
right. If I were you, I'd do the same thing.
Well, I think that's the thing that's lost from people that have been here or natives are people that are looking to move here. We affectionately call them political refugees. They're moving here for a reason. They're tired of that, crappy commute or, the crime or, the list goes on and on and on as to why they're, leaving the area that they're in. I think it's just, they're just trying to share that, hey, there can be a tendency to bring that with you. Even though you don't want it, you have to be kind of adamant not to bring it.
Right. Yeah, because it's in their muscle memory. Like, that's just what they know.
Yeah.
So they're going to do it even though they're like, they're wanting to leave it. They're going to kind of do it.
Yeah, driving in that kind of way. Like, there's a tendency to bring that with you and don't.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
To be blunt.
Yeah. No, really. Exactly. We just, people want to have that slower down home feel. And the thing is, like, COVID kind of changed a lot. It really did. And I mean, even people like in my neighborhood, you don't see them outside in their yards as much because they kind of got used to that whole, like, be inside, And I think, hopefully some of that begins to shift back because we need to be interacting more and having people over for barbecues and having the neighbors over and so that's definitely something I think that kind of goes along with that. We kind of lost that a little bit. I think a lot of places did. We need to get it back.
Just had that conversation the other day. We took a new listing out in Nampa, and I was just inviting the neighbors around to come see their neighbors home because that's what they want to do.
Right.
And I want them to know it's okay to do. But it was quiet. Man, there's nobody out in the streets. It was cold, so there was some snow on the ground. So can't blame them for it. But I was even talking with Mark, one of the agents in the office, and I said, "Man, I really hope in spring and summer, if we were to come back here, that we see the kids out in the street playing together and the parents talking to each other as neighbors, and like you said, having barbecues or whatever. I really hope that all kind of comes back, as opposed to the hit your garage door opener, pull your car in, shut the door, and go in.
Right.
That's kind of the things that I think people are worried about us getting into.
Right.
Just being siloed.
Right. Well, and here's the truth of it. I remember years ago. Okay, it's been a minute. A few years ago, I remember I was downtown San Francisco. Okay, I was traveling through, doing some rodeo stuff, and I flew in, had to catch a bus ride down to Santa Maria. It's the only way I could get there. And I'm walking around town. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Hey, morning. Hey, how are you?
They thought you were crazy, I'm sure.
I'm telling you.
They're going to put a straitjacket on you.
They were like looking away, when I said something. And I didn't realize how that's the culture in those big cities is that if all of a sudden somebody's trying to talk to you, it's because they want something, right? Or they don't have a good intent. There's no good intentions here. Right. And I didn't know that.
Yeah, grab your wallet or walk a little faster or something.
So like, again, kind of relating back to here is like, we love that, hey, morning, hey, how are you? Hey, hi,
Yeah.
And that's how I want it to always stay.
Yeah,
I might teach my boys
wave,
that,
that does a lot for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unless you have the perspective that they're crazy or want something. But
yeah.
So anyway, I think, I think that's the concern.
Sure. And that's real.
We've got
understandable.
Here and,
understandable. I think, everybody that's coming here, hopefully, okay, for the most part is wanting to improve their quality of life. Yeah. And that's what you get in Idaho. They're wanting to slow the pace down a little bit. Maybe they're wanting to run a business that's not getting taxed to death.
Right.
Maybe they just want to own a piece of property that they can't afford where they're at. Maybe they want to get ahead, right?
Yeah.
They got some goals.
Or feel comfortable with your kids, living in the community and not, experiencing some of the things that they've been experiencing.
Yeah. If someone's moving here just bringing their punk ways, well,
yeah, you can go back.
We're still a little out west here, so
yeah. So anyway, I think it's good to just kind of put it out there. We have these conversations individually with clients when they come in. Hopefully, this podcast will just share maybe a little bit of insight into where people are coming from that have lived here their whole life. Like this is a lot of change for them. Even the people that just been here for a few years or a decade or two, it's still a lot of change for them, and it's tough to digest. So, they don't dislike you. They will be welcoming, but they want to know you're here to contribute.
Right.
To our great quality of life in a positive way.
Contribute to this community.
Correct.
Yeah. You want to help make it better.
Yeah. Not bring it down. Not bring any.
Not just what can you get out of it.
Yeah. Don't bring any bad habits. Don't bring any, things that are gonna make you want to move from here.
Well, and those are real conversations. Like sometimes people that are starting to look at real estate, they're kind of like not sure and they're a little uneasy. And there may be really great people, but they're like, okay. And I mean, just talking about some things like, hey, here's some things, but here's the things that we value. This is what this Treasure Valley values,
Yeah. So, unless there's something else that you wanted to make sure we brought up,
no, I'm good.
I think, certainly feel free to reach out to us, ask us any questions. No obligation, no pressure by any stretch. We do have a relocation guide that we can send. Kind of describes the different areas of town, the recreation that we were talking about, some of the school options. It's a 100-page relocation guide.
Yeah.
We'll just send it to you and take a look at it. And when you come to visit, you'll have a pretty good idea of what the Boise, Idaho, Treasure Valley area has to offer.
Yeah, we'll shoot you straight.
Yeah, for sure. We love helping people. Just helping them understand. Why Idaho is so great.
I think that's the one thing I'll end on is that you and I have the servant's heart of we really just want to help people achieve their goals, their dreams, and it's about that. Seeing that happen, come to fruition is amazing. It's not about what kind of deal can I make? It's really what can I do to help you achieve your dreams, your goals.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So right on.
Cool. All right, man. Well, again, another good conversation. Hopefully, you folks have enjoyed it, and kind of closing. I always hope that you have a blessed day.
Yeah, and my signature deal is wherever you're at, make the most of it and be in the moment.
Absolutely. Take care.